guys, it's your boy Howl from Sweden, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 10 most duped skins in CS2. That's a long sentence. But before I show you all of the duped skins, I would like to thank today's sponsor, which is D-Market. D-Market is a CS2 marketplace and trading site where you can buy, sell, and trade your skins for new loadouts safely. And they've got discounted prices for skins. For example, a Bionet Tiger Tooth on D-Market is now listed for $488, which is a bit less than 460 euro. Meanwhile, on the Steam market right now, it would cost you 686 euro to get a Bionet Tiger Tooth, which is a lot more. They've also recently added a lot of new advanced search filters so you can find the perfect craft for you. Choosing the specific color of the stickers you want, your favorite team, the rarity, and the amount of stickers, and more. So if you want to try them out, then please do so from the link in the description. And thank you once again, D-Market, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so duped skins, what does that mean? Well, basically, it's when a skin gets duplicated so that an identical version of that skin also exists. How do you do that? Because as you may know, if you open a skin and then you open another one, even if it's the same skin like a Gambit Autotronic, the floats are going to be different, the patterns are going to be different, everything's going to be different. Well, because you don't open it. So the way that it would work is that you have one skin to begin with, or a few, like in an inventory, such as this Karambit Crimson Web Factory New, which was a very popular skin to dupe back in the day. Then what you would do is you would pretend to have your account hijacked or hacked, then trade that knife away to another account, and then that account would keep trading it so they can't reverse all of those trades. And then you would contact Steam support, and basically what they did with some social engineering is that you would get the Steam support. I think it was the Steam support in Russia, I'm not entirely sure, but basically they would duplicate the knife and give the duplicated version back to yourself so that you got reimbursed for your hacked items. But what the Steam support didn't know is you were part of the heist, you were in on it. So basically now you have two Karambit Crimson Webs Factory New, which are very, very rare. And what do? Well, you keep on doing it. This time you could do it with two Karambit Crimson Web Factory News, and you just keep duping and your inventory keeps growing, and that's how you used to make a lot of money with duping. Also, as a side note, I'm not 100% sure all of these facts were true, but that's basically how you used to dupe skins. Now, as you may probably understand then, having a skin be duped is not really a super rare occurrence. It is becoming more and more rare because the more time that passes, more of the duped skins gets either banned or forgotten about or VAC banned, community banned, anything like that. And since nowadays it's basically impossible to duplicate skins, these are a relic of the past, which is pretty cool. Like I mentioned, this Karambit Crimson Web was duped back in the day, but as you can see, it's only got two duplicates, meaning that two versions of this exact Karambit exists with the same float, the same pattern, everything. And as you can see by the trade history, these dupes have existed for a very long time, definitely longer than 2020. It's just that probably Cisco Float wasn't tracking it before then. But who really racked up the most dupes on a skin? Well, I made a top 10 list, so we're gonna find out. Also, before anyone complains, there may exist some skins that have slightly more dupes than this top 10, but since you cannot search by dupe, you can't filter by dupes, this is what I found after several hours of researching. Hopefully this list is correct, but there may be a skin or two that deserves a higher rating in the list. On the number 10 spot on the list, we have this M9 Bionet Ruby, which has been duped 4 times total. And as you can see by the trade history, these have been along for a really long time. 312 recorded transactions. That is a lot. Also, I'm pretty sure this only accounts for the last 4 years of trading, and there might be more duplicates found, but if they haven't moved inventories or been updated, it's probably not going to find that. But yeah, 4 instances of this M9 Bionet Ruby. It's not that much, actually. Of course, there's other rubies that have been duped also, but this one was the most with 4 dupes. 0.029 which isn't even that bad of a gem. And this one was probably duped back in 2016, maybe? Actually, no, this may have been duped in 2015, because that's when the chroma case was released. So obviously, at that time, this was one of the rarest items you could have. So that's probably when it was duped, in 2015. Number 9. Next one is another ruby, the Karambit Ruby 0.009, so a very good float. Also probably duped 2015 or 2016. This skin also has 4 duplicates found, with just about as much trade history as the M9. Now, I just realized, I forgot to explain, having 2 duplicated knives, it used to be seen as something kind of bad, because if it was duped, that kind of tainted the skin a little bit. So if you're like a hardcore collector, you might care if a skin is duped or not, but nowadays I would say doesn't matter at all as much as it used to. Number 8. Next skin on the list is the Trak M9 Bionet Crimson Web Factory New. This skin has 5 registered duplicates, which actually, fun fact, I am one of them. Let's see if we can find me. Apparently Stack had this one as well, very interesting. And yes, here you can see me. 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I used to own this very M9 Crimson Web, which is really cool, but realistically, since it's duped at least 5 times, probably way more, it's not as cool because, you know, I just owned one of those 5 dupes. I guarantee you there's way more than 5 dupes of this one, because this is one of the most famous dupes, I guess you could say, from back in the day. This was basically the rarest skin you could get. Number 7. And speaking about some of the rarest skins you can get, you can't have the M9 without the Karambit Crimson Web Factory New Trak. This one is duped a grand total of 6 times, and this is one of my favorite— Wait, what the fuck are Rad call me? Hello? I'm recording a video.
What video?
About skins and duping skins. Look, I'm talking about your Karambit and how bad it is.
That's not mine, first of all.
How do you know that? From a dusty-ass bitrate Snapchat call. What the fuck?
Mine is the only unduped since 2015 best pattern.
This video is actually about me talking duped skins, bro. So you mentioning non-duped, very coincidence. Now at number 6, we have the M9 Sapphire Factory New. Like I said, back in the day, these are some of the most rare and expensive skins you could have. This M9 Sapphire 0.028 has been duped at least 8 times. This one, in the last 4 years, has 690 registered transactions, which is quite a lot. Just like your slutty girlfriend, this M9 Sapphire has been in everyone's inventory, and everyone has used it. Now, if that's something you care about, then maybe you shouldn't get a duped skin. If you don't care about that, well, go ahead. At number 5, we have a Glock Fade. Now, this one isn't your typical ultra high tier M9 Ruby Trak Crimson Web FN, but it just goes to show that you probably wouldn't dupe an inventory just for this Glock Fade. You would have an entire inventory of a bunch of skins and then dupe them, and then this is one of the skins that just so happened to be there that got duped a lot. Finally, going into the double digits, this Glock was duped at least 11 times and has 744 recorded trades. And this one I have actually had back in the middle of 2022. I had this one, purchased it and sold it. 0.029 Glock Fade, which is very interesting. At number 4, closing in on the top 3, we have, of course, a Karambit Sapphire. Just like the M9 back in the day, the Karambit gems were some of the most expensive skins. And fun fact, because when the Emerald knives were released, I don't think duping was at all as big of a thing. And since then, duping hasn't really been a thing. I don't think there exists many duplicates of emeralds, which is a cool, fun fact. This one, however, exists a lot of duplicates, at least 15 times, and has a very sizable trade record. At least 15 dupes, but realistically, there's gonna be way more that just aren't cataloged. And this Karambit I've also actually owned. I don't know when, but I see by the price when I bought it many years ago, I bought it for around 6,000 euro. That's definitely a price I would pay nowadays for a Karambit Sapphire, because these have gone up a lot in value. Stepping into the top 3, at the 3rd place, we have have the Trak Fire Serpent minimal wear with a 0.07 float, which is very good. And you can see this one has some Elige stickers and a very peculiar Titan Hollow here at the front. This one has been duped at least 15 times and has 400 recorded trades. But something that's very interesting about this one is it has so many dupes, right? But that's not it. As you can see, this is that same Fire Serpent with the same float that we just inspected with a Titan Hollow. But we look at this guy's inventory, same one, right? Exact same float. Look at the stickers. Very nice cat of 14 stickers. But we also have that same Titan Hollow in the wood position. Next account, also a Titan Hollow on wood. And as you can see, there's many instances of this because every single one, I guess, was duped while the Titan Hollow was applied on the wood. So there exists at least 15 of these Fire Serpent minimal wear 0.07 with a Titan Hollow on the wood, which is very cool. Now at number 2, we have, of course, one of the skins everyone has been waiting for, the Op Dragon Lore Factory New. Now, before this spot in the list, we've had one single skin that's been duped many times on each of the entries in the list, but the Op Dragon Lore is a little bit harder than that because it was so heavily duped so many times. As you can see here in my little list that I made, all of the skins leading up to this was only one, but as you can see, maybe this Karambit Sapphire was duped 15 times and there was another one duped 2, 3, 4 times. Not super interesting. You can see all of these Dragon Lores are duped many times. For example, this one duped 7 times, this one 8, this one 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 17, but the number 1 spot for the most duped Dragon Lore goes to this one, which is the one I'm inspecting, with 21 recorded dupes. Now, I guarantee you, there's way more dupes that are out in the wild, just not registered in private inventories that are banned, etc. But according to Float database, this one has 21 dupes, which is very insane. And you can really see that by the trade history, 987 recorded trades since 2020. Basically like 3.5 years. I've actually owned this exact Dragon Lore 3 different times. So yeah, this is really your slutty ex-girlfriend that has been in everyone's inventory, but sometimes even more than once. Very dirty Dragon Lore. Ush ush. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the most duped skin in CS that I could find, the Trak M4 Howl Factory New. And just like with the Op Dragon Lore, many different M4 Howls were duped, which makes my little spreadsheet look like this. You can see there's so many dupes. I started off with the lowest Howl being duped 9 times, then 11, 13, 18, and this one apparently was duped with 2 Titan Hollow. This is what it looks like. You can see you have the back Titan Hollow and this one above the handle, and I guarantee you many people who have been at least somewhat into trading will see this one and instantly know, oh, it's the one that's duped a bunch. Next one is duped 20 times, next one 26, but the final and most duped M4 Howl in the game that I could find is this one. This one is duped 30 times at least. Now, like I said before, I guarantee you this is duped many more times, but it actually doesn't have a larger trade record than some of the other skins, probably because this is just such a very expensive M4, and I guess it doesn't switch hands as often as some of the cheaper skins. Let me see, have I owned it? Oh, I've owned it twice. One actually I sold like 2 weeks ago, and then I had another one in late 2023 as well. Let's see if I can find me in the item history. Yep, there I am. I found myself in this list, which is very cool. Most of the skins on this list I have owned just because they're duped, so the chances of owning one are way higher than a non-duped skin. That about does it. Yeah, CS is fully down. Oh my god, operation. But thank you guys for watching this list about the most duped skins in CS2. I hope there were some skins here that you saw that you haven't seen before, and also if you weren't aware what duping or duped skins was, I hope you now understand where they come from, what they are, and if it impacts your buying of the skin or not. Well, you make that decision. Now I'm gonna go wait for this here operation that's obviously about to come. Whoop him!